Hey, you guys, Trisha Turner here. It's Tuesday, 12 o'clock. I'm with my dear friend Karen Van Holten, owner of Majestic Title. And we are here on Anything But Average, Achieving Success in Life. Purpose of the show. There's a little bit of an echo, y'all. Just be careful or tune it out. Might be a little bit. Purpose of the show is to deliver some positivity to you, deliver some success stories. I believe everybody's got a story of success. Karen definitely has. She's built a couple of different businesses, and it's just launched another one. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Takeover Texas and how to really crush it in real estate in 2022. And welcome, Karen.
Hey, hi. Good to see you.
Good to see you. So I want to give everyone a little bit of backstory about you. A lot of people know you from a couple of other businesses before. Karen and I have been friends for years. We do business together every day, and she's an amazing person. So Karen, give us a little bit of backstory, please.
Well, first of all, before we even get started, I was listening to 94.5 The Buzz on the way over here. And I had a fangirl moment when you posted the post yesterday about today's podcast. So thank you for having me on Anything But Average. But I noticed that Rod Ryan liked it on Facebook. And I was like, Rod Ryan likes something that I'm part of. That's pretty awesome. So
that's very cool.
Just kind of throwing that out there at first. So I have been in title since, well, I don't know, I think 2001. I've been in the industry. And I was working with a lot of amazing people back then, and it kind of sucked me into the industry and made me want to be part of it. But I didn't want to just be part of it. I wanted to be a leader in the industry. And so I'd always set my sights on law school. So during the time I was working back then as an escrow assistant and escrow officer, I decided to go to law school on top of working full time. And so I continued my career doing all these different things. And you know, it's funny because anytime if somebody asks for a volunteer, if you raise your hand, you get to do amazing things, right? Just that disease, like, you know, they say that you can't keep your hand down because you volunteer for so much. I know you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I started just kind of volunteering to learn new things and new projects and going to law school, doing new projects, ending up here in Houston to do oil and gas, you know, legal work because I came to U of H to get another law degree specifying, you know, oil and gas type things, natural resources. And so I did that for several years in the Houston market, but I missed title so much. I missed it. I missed working with people every day, watching them buy and sell their homes, even the challenging ones. You know, even when there's somebody that maybe has passed away or there's a divorce or something going on, I missed interacting with each and every one of them. So in 2013, I started my own law office and my own title office working for another company. And I felt like I was back at home. I felt like I was helping people. I was truly being part of their lives and truly doing something that I absolutely loved. And then I found out that I absolutely love developing other people in this industry. So over the last, well, I guess it's 2022 already. So since 2013, I have been helping others develop, helping real estate agents develop in their careers by providing education and advice and just doing a good job. Recently, the most recent thing is that I have been president of another local title company for several years. And in October, that chapter ended for me, but a whole new one just opened up, started. And so now I'm the president and CEO of Majestic Title, which I own, and I am again getting to work with some amazing people and help develop their careers in title. And I'm adding people, it seems like every week. So that's kind of the brief history of where I was and where I am now. Before that, I thought I was going to be a band director. So you know, there was some teaching that was going to be happening in my life at some point.
There's always teachable moments. So
moments.
Okay, so she's an attorney. Y'all heard that. Now, a lot of people go and they become a lawyer and then they open their own practice and then they stop there with you. And, you know, a lot of attorneys are not the nicest people in the world. Karen doesn't fit any of that because she's always there volunteering. She's always there helping. I met her when we moved to Fulshire in 2014. That's when I met you.
Yeah.
You were volunteering then.
Yeah, back in the chamber days,
Yes.
we were meeting in a room that held like 15 to 20 people comfortably, if that. Although she did have the best egg rolls of anyone, hands down. I miss Miss Young out there in Fulshire for her egg rolls, but we were meeting in that back room.
Events together every year.
Yeah.
The parades, the Christmas stuff, 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, we get involved in everything together because we both we want to be part of things, we want to help others. One of the things that I think people don't know about you, and they should, is that the title industry, I've learned a whole lot about it being in real estate as a real estate agent or broker. We don't really get knee deep in title. We have to kind of just oversee everything and make sure. But when you get knee deep in that stuff, it's a lot. And so I think so many real estate agents, don't know what the title commitment is. Buyers and sellers don't know what the title commitment is. So can you briefly talk about that and why it's so important real fast before we talk about your story?
Absolutely. So one of the oddest things is we send out this document in the beginning of the transaction, that being the title commitment. And at the top of the title commitment, there's a cover page. And in the industry, it's called a jacket, because way back in the day, which I was part of, you used to wrap this other piece of paper around the commitment itself, and it formed like a little jacket. The jacket says, this is a contract, right? So the title commitment itself is a contract between the buyer and the title company. And most people don't even look at it or read it. And so when people come in here to start their career in title, one of the first things they do within the first 15 minutes of training, I have them read it. So they understand that a lot of the business that we'll be doing is actually coming from the commitment. So when it's sent out to a buyer, the first section of it talks about who has the current title. Well, if the current title holder isn't the person who sold you the property, that's a big problem. There's going to be some stuff that needs to be done. And then the second part of it tells you, hey, we're going to issue you a title insurance policy that's going to protect you against loss for certain things. So if someone comes back and says that they have better title to you, to the land than you do, then the title company is going to defend you up to the sales price of your home in order to say, no, you're wrong, the buyer has better claim. However, there are some exceptions that we just take naturally. By law, there's standard exceptions. They're even mentioned in the contracts that people sign when they're buying the house. And then there are some other particular items that are incidental to that property that we're like, hey, we're going to give you title insurance, but we're not going to cover any defect that may come back because of this utility easement that's been there for years and years, or because of this these oil and gas leases. We don't cover oil and gas, which is interesting, having come from being an oil and gas lawyer, then back to this. I'm like, oh, everything I cared about there, I don't care about here anymore because we don't insure it. And then Schedule C is kind of like a how-to. So people are like, well, what happens during the closing process? Well, in that Schedule C, we have to take care of anything that's listed on the Schedule C, because whenever you get a policy, there's no Schedule C because everything on there should be deleted. If it's not deleted, it becomes another exception to the coverage. So it's one of those things where title insurance is going to cover a lot, but there are specific things that we don't cover. So we tell people in there, hey, we don't cover these specific things. So it's very important. I remember when we were buying our first house out in this area, we ended up not going through with it because I received my title commitment, and being who I am, I read it. And there were things that I disagreed with on the title commitment, that the seller had reserved the minerals after we had already signed a contract with them. So the minerals I thought were coming to us because they were never excluded prior, but now all of a sudden it says, hey, there's these leases and things that are now excluded from your title insurance. And that brought attention to me and notice to me that, hey, something happened after the date that I signed the contract by the seller. So I got out of that contract and bought a different house. But it's very important information about the policy that's going to be issued against the defects that may be entitled that we're unaware of. Because we do a thorough search of the public records and ask lots of questions, but sometimes there's like an iceberg lurking out there. So we
Well, I think, and too, the more that the real estate industry gets as busy and life gets as busy and weird things keep happening too. Like there's been many deals that we've brought to you where other people haven't been able to figure out, and you do. You become the problem solver. You're like the title whisperer.
So I have had teachers my whole life. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my personal demeanor, but anytime if I go ask someone a question, they tell me to go look it up, including my mom, which I think may be watching the podcast because she asked me how to get in. And my mom was always, I would ask her a question and she said, you have a dictionary, and I had a full set of encyclopedias. Remember those, right? And so she said, go look it up. And then she'd also say, I'd say, I love you, Mom. And she'd say, prove it. So my whole life, I've had to look up the answers and then prove what I'm trying to say. So when I started in the industry, she's no longer with us. She's passed for a long time now, but I had an escrow officer that I worked with. And within my first couple of weeks, she was trying to teach me how to put papers in order, right? Kind of a simple task. I thought I had mastered it. So I told her I've mastered it. So she brought a file about this thick to me, and she threw it in the air like 52 pickup sticks. Remember that game, right?
Oh, yeah.
52 card pickup. Your mean older brother would throw all the cards on the floor and say, how to pick them up. She threw it all over the ground and said, okay, now put it back in order. Now, this was 20 years ago, right? So now probably that would be some HR nightmare somewhere. But I put it in order, and she knew that I knew my stuff. Same thing with my mentors in the past. They don't really provide me with the answers, but they've taught me how to find the answers. And so I think the same thing is applicable with title. There's got to be an answer. It might not be an answer that anyone really likes to hear during the middle of a contract process, but there's got to be an answer out there somewhere to be able to pass title to property. Even the statutes and the laws in Texas provide for various measures to work around things. We can basically overcome almost everything except when someone lies to you. Now, when you have a buyer or a seller that lies to you, it's a little different to overcome, because at that point, you're kind of running around in circles.
Yeah, for sure. Now, when building a business, me, I'm a business owner, you're a business owner, we collaborate and we're like-minded. I think it's super cool that we're women-owned businesses and that we're like thriving. You have changed from one title company to another, almost basically starting over. Are you scared at all about this?
Not at all. Not at all. There's nothing. I feel like if you've made the decision in your mind to be a business owner, you have to take fear out of your vocabulary. You have to just walk right in and say, okay, I've got this every single day. And if you need a reminder of that, you can call me personally. I'll remind you, you got it. You can do it. I know that you'll be happy to tell someone, hey, you can do it. You just have to forget about fear, because fears cause stutters.
Yep.
Right. And if you stutter in what you're doing, you not only lose confidence in yourself, but others lose confidence in you. So you have to just take fear out of it. And I have. I think, that commercial where they say recalculating, some days there's recalculating, but never stop, right? Never stop. You just have to keep saying, okay, well, this might not have worked out the way I wanted it here. How can I make whatever I'm doing align with where I'm going? And so no, that's the very long answer to no. There's no fear.
And so the Majestic Title hasn't even been open that long. It's already growing like crazy. We just were talking yesterday, and you were like, I didn't know how many orders we got, and say this is just crazy. Super cool, and it's freaking January, so it's not like we're in May. January.
It's January, and I can't even wait for May. May's going to be exciting, but January is also just so promising. And, I think that no matter what business you are in, everything is relationship based. Everything that you do, picking up the phone. One of my mentors told me, always pick up the phone. And I try. That's one thing I continually have to work on, is picking up and returning the phone call, no matter who it is, because you just never know what that person they might just need your help, or there may be an opportunity there for you somewhere down the line anyway. And if there's not, that's okay too. It doesn't matter, as long as you are keeping those relationships alive. because that's one of the things that I can attribute. Just Majestic so far, the smooth sailing that we've had has been because of relationships I've had for 20 years.
Isn't that
20 years, 2014 years, since how many ever that is now, 7, 8.
yeah. But just like from you leaving one title company and starting another, just like when I left my own real estate company to start with EXP, it was like, where was there fear? Sure, there's always fear, but it's like, well, why would I not? Like, I know I can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm not a quitter for one. I'm going to get up every day and do the grind. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen because I raised my hand and said that I would. You're the same way. So as you're facing these things, are there any new challenges, new obstacles that are headed your way that anyone can help you with, or what does it look like 2022?
I think in the title industry, we all look for the same type of help because this is an amazing industry. And when you come in, you can come in with absolutely no experience in any other area if you're willing to work hard and learn. And when someone says go look up the answer, you go look up the answer. That's how I ended up getting to where I've gotten is because of that drive. So we're always looking for new people to bring into this industry who see the future of it, who see, oh, this is an amazing career, and the people who work in it. Sometimes if I'm interviewing people or talking to people, like, hey, it may not be your jam. It just might not be your jam. You might not like it. But if you do like it, you will love it until the day that you retire or pass away, because the amount of people that we get to interact with and be part of their lives, there's no way that you can't be part of someone's story and not feel like you're doing something valuable. Mm-hmm. So when I'm looking for help, I said earlier, I love developing people. I love watching people grow. And it's kind of the legacy that I want to leave someday in this industry is I want to go to a conference and people around there say, that's Karen Van Holten, and I remember she helped me with something, or she helped me in my career. And it's really what I want. So when I'm looking for help, it's looking for people, right? Of course, it's a title company. So of course, if you're a real estate agent that we want to be able to perform your transactions, that's definitely something that we can use help with. But just people, smiling faces, grace under fire. You don't have to be perfect all the time, but the biggest thing here is that I was on a plane many years ago and I was a little nervous. We were going to Australia, and the flight attendant noticed I was nervous, and he said to me, listen, I've done this so many times. I'm going to tell you something. You are not allowed to panic unless you see me panic. And then if I panic, you can panic all you want. And so at the title company, that's what I want for our clients to feel and understand is, okay, don't panic. But if you see me panic, there's a problem. Yeah. And so people who can maintain that calm are fantastic in this industry, maintaining calm and paying attention to detail, personable, know how to smile, all those good things. So if anybody out there knows anybody that's looking for a career that they're going to fall in love with, then definitely they can reach out to me. Or if you have even if you're at another title company and you're having a title issue, it's okay to give me a call if you think that I can help you solve the issue. It doesn't mean we're going to try to take it from that other title company. If I can help you leave it where it is and get your clients taken care of.
Well, I can say that I'm a living testimony for you because we've given you hundreds of files, and like I don't ever worry about it. I've never had a phone call where it's been like, oh crap, this file's going, down the drain. I don't worry about it. I know when it's in your hands, you're going to make it. And if for some reason it does not make it, that there's no possible way it can make it. And for me, that's comforting.
Well, definitely, we appreciate everything. I mean, from the beginning of when we met. When it was, I never asked you for business. I just said, let's just be friends. And one day you picked up the phone and said, hey, I'm going to send you a contract. And I said, wow, that's amazing. I'm going to love working with you. And I have ever since. Your team is wonderful to work with. Always happy, smiley people, and always know, exactly what they're doing for clients. So I think it's a really great relationship too, and one that I'm very happy to be part of.
So can we announce that where your building is going to be? Because you're in a temporary location right now, correct?
Yes. So currently we are over on Kingsland Boulevard in a smaller space, but it was a great space that was available when I needed one to move into. So We just yesterday signed a lease, and I actually went out today and took a photo, so you'll see it on my Facebook later. So in 2013, when I started my law firm, I was doing it from various locations. But then in 2015, I signed a lease that's 0.2 miles from my house, where I worked out of for several years. And that lease has been empty since the day that we moved out, the former title company. And so I actually signed a lease on the space where it all started for me back with the law firm. I signed it yesterday. And so we are moving back into our Fulshire location is going to be next to Local Table. It's 11525 South Fry, Suite 102. And I'm so excited because I've got my little hard hat ready. We're demoing, not me personally, I've hired a professional. I can't imagine getting in there with a sledgehammer and tearing anything up. So it was exactly the way we left it. And so we walked in, we met with an architect and contractor yesterday, and we're going to completely redesign, and it should be ready in hopefully by May. Hopefully by May 1st is what we're shooting for. It's a great location. It's right there in Cross Creek Ranch in Fulshire. And I know a lot of people in the area. And did I mention it's 0.2 miles from my house?
You did. Walking distance.
Oh, okay. I thought I did. Yeah. Sometimes I'd walk my dog up there if I left something or pick it up. And it's just, I've gone to the coffee shop almost every single day for the last 6 years, 7 years. I was the first tenant in that building. So.
And then are you not looking for a Sugarland location as well?
We are. So we have looked at about 7 or 8 different Sugarland locations, and we narrowed it down. And so we'll be announcing that later this week of where the Sugarland location is going to be. By the end of the year, we'll also have a Katy location. That's an undisclosed location at this time as well, but we're working on that. We will have a Clear Lake location, and by the end of the year, we will hopefully have a College Station location.
Love it.
So we're just growing and building, and some of those people that I've had relationships with that aren't in title, they are joining me on this adventure because they're excited about how excited I am. And I think that's important in any, okay, if I can say it, in any industry. That's kind of hard to say. In any industry. I think as a business owner or leader, when you can share your enthusiasm with other people so much that they want to change their career to come into yours, and they want to learn and they're thirsty for knowledge, I think anyone could be excited about that. And I have 3 people that I have been trying to convert for about 5 years, and they are on board. So we'll be announcing them. They're getting headshots next week. And we'll be announcing who's joining the team and who I get to have the pleasure to work with as well. So
it's because
big things for 2020.
You know?
Say again?
You have passion, driven by passion. Same.
I am absolutely. It is, I don't have any kids, so I don't see the little light bulbs like when their kids start to walk or when their kids learn to speak or any of those things. I don't have that. But what I do have is when I see someone learn something and then they own it, the spark in their eye or the pride that they get from doing a good job. I have had that in my career and want to continue to have that because that is the passion that drives me. Just literally seeing that I've been part of someone's journey and helping them have a career, start to build their own wealth, buy houses, buy cars. All of it. It makes me so proud. And if someday they're not working with me, but they go on in this career and do great things, I am proud of that I had an impact, a positive impact on what they're doing in their lives. So
I think that's awesome.
That's the passion.
I'm super proud of you, and I can't wait to watch you just blow up in 2022 and have all these locations and travel right along with us. I want to talk a little bit about our event because that's coming up too, guys. That is next week, January 13th. So naturally, when we put off events like this one, they are super expensive because we want you guys to have value. We want you to walk away learning something that you can implement in your business to craft real estate in all of your life. And so naturally, when we look for businesses that we want to be involved, we want to have like-minded people. Karen with Majestic Title, they are our preferred title company, so they are our title sponsor. So she would be at the event. Takeover Texas is what we've called it. We'll be kind of traveling around the state of Texas, different locations. We'll be in Houston twice. We're launching it in Houston on the 13th at the Improv. We're going to start at 9 that morning, we'll end at 2 in the afternoon. Lunch is going to be served. It's going to be in person and virtual. So you'll also get a copy of the recording as well. We are flying in my coach, Coach Michael Burnt from Tennessee. He'll be headlining it. He's going to talk for about the last 90 minutes of the event, at least 90 minutes. And so he's going to go over fanatical follow-up, how to generate 3,000 leads for free, and how to activate your prey drive, which is what he's known for, getting that internal prey drive activated so you actually go out there and just seek, kill, and destroy, like take over your mission. And so you guys are going to love him. Before him, Nick Rem is going to speak. He's another dear friend of mine, from Florida. He's like the social media content leader. He runs a lot of social media and a lot of the top producers that we collaborate with across the United States, handles their stuff as well. So he'll be teaching you guys how to grow your business, whatever it is, title, insurance, whatever, using social media, how to create content. Amy Lettman is my partner in crime, and she's going to be on stage as well. You're going to love to hear her story. I'm going to speak a little bit about my story because I believe everybody can be successful. It's just in mindset. And then a portion of the proceeds, because it is a paid event, we're charging $44 for tickets, and a portion of that will go to Keep Us Fed, which is the local charity that we've partnered with. That the founder of that company will be there as well. She'll share the stage with us, and she's going to talk a little bit about that. We've got a goal for 2022 to give them 1 million meals. So we want to be able to donate enough money for 1 million meals in 2022. And when you think about that, you're going to have to tune into her story on the 13th. What does that look like? What kind of money are we talking about? What kind of mouths are they feeding right now? What does that look like? And it's super cool. We've had her on my show, but you'll hear her story again on the 13th. You guys make sure and register. You can get tickets at bettertogetherlive.com. Go there, get your tickets. A limit, of course, because we're serving lunch and our station is limited. So make sure and grab your ticket. If it's sold out, then make sure that you still register and we'll get you in on the virtual link. And Karen, tell us why this is important to you.
Well, I'm excited to be part of anything that you're part of. You know that, because it's always a fantastic event. Just the hype and everything that's created, the amount of time you spend just building it up is amazing. I'm excited because I get to tell a lot of people about Majestic and pass out some purple swag, because that's what we're doing. We want to put a little purple in your life and give you bunches of stuff that you can, use. I'm excited because it is the first event in 2022 that we're going to be part of.
Yep.
And I'm excited to see a bunch of faces that I recognize and a bunch of new faces as well. And the meals part of it. Like, I want to see some kind of like tracker of how you're doing throughout the year, so that you can see where does it start, and then how you're tracking along the process. That would be pretty cool to see as you take over Texas.
So I read an article on an airplane the other day, and it showed the average income of a real estate agent, and it was for 2020, not 2021. Those numbers aren't out yet. Average annual income of a real estate agent in 2020 was $39,000. Y'all, $39,000. That's crazy. So we already put this event all together prior to learning that, but I've known that. That's kind of been the stats for the last several years. It actually is between 37 and 41,000. So 39,000 was 2020, and the average agent only sells 4 to 6 homes a year. I don't know about you, but I can't take care of my family selling that. Karen certainly can't run a title company if that's all agents are doing. We're in our organization. We don't want you doing 4 to 6 homes a year. We want you to do 100 homes a year, 200 homes a year, 1,000 homes a year. Why not? We believe that everyone should live an abundant life. It's not the money that makes people evil. People are going to be evil one way or another. It's good people that have money that actually can change the world. We believe we can change the world. We're crazy enough to change the world. And so this event is so that you can actually live in abundance, have more, do more, be more. Because the average person, when they go to an event, only 2% of the people that actually attend a workshop will implement something that they learn. But studies show that if you implement just one thing that you learned, then it was considered a success. So I want you guys to make sure that you get registered for this. Like I said, we're launching it in Houston, but then we're not going to be back here in Houston again for several months. So take advantage of this. Coach Burt It's very expensive to have him as a coach. It's also very expensive to bring him to the stage and have him speak. That'd be like having Grant Cardone come speak. It's super expensive. So make sure that you come to the event. If you can't be there at 9 or 10 right when you first start, at least be there for the latter part of the event because you don't want to miss any of that huge content. You certainly don't want to miss Karen's face and talking about Majestic Title.
Well, even though I know I'm speaking for a few minutes there, I'm more excited about listening and hearing, because even though I'm not a real estate agent, those speakers have a lot, just as far as any type of business owner or entrepreneur. I mean, they have a lot of advice to give, and I can't wait to listen and hear from them. You know, I'm not as excited about hearing from me because I already know what I have to say. But I'm excited to hear from what they might add, or maybe something that I can pass on to somebody else to help them. And even through the title business, I mean, that's, you know, you talk about being in constant learning mode, and that's so important because you can find things to help you in your own business, in other businesses every single day.
And just like Karen just said, I want to touch on that too, because we believe there's enough business for everybody. So if you're at a different title company, come to the event. If you're at a different real estate company than we are, come to the event. It doesn't matter. This is brand agnostic. We don't really care. It's about learning and growing and living in abundance, period.
Absolutely. And I think that it's really important for people within the same industry to look at each other less as competitors and look at more, you know, as your peers. You know, you're not competitors, you're peers. So I think I'm glad you said that. I think it's really important that other people know, hey, this is not brand specific. Just come and learn.
So pay attention to the website. That's where you're going to go to find tickets, bettertogetherlive.com. You can also go there, see kind of our mission, why we're doing this, who our sponsors are, where we're planning on going throughout the rest of 2022. So you can kind of plan ahead, because as we expand into other areas, we would love for people to partner up and help us find a logistical area, a good place to go, a good place to have a venue. Karen, where can they learn a little bit more about Majestic Title?
So our website is actually being launched this afternoon. We've been working hard on it so that it has all the tools and resources people need. So the website is www.majestictitletexas.com. Okay, so it's a little bit lengthy. Or my cell phone number is on the screen, 214-918-4380. And I will always answer unless I am asleep, which I may still answer you. Or if I am with someone else at that moment. So just call, text. If you need anything, let me know. And it's better than email to get a hold of me.
And I think that's pretty cool that the owner of a title company just put out her cell phone number publicly. So if you guys don't think that's different, you need to think again, because that's pretty freaking awesome. Thank you for that.
Of course. I'm always here. Not really here. I'm around.
Yeah, you are. You guys make sure and tune in January 13th, improv, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Lunch provided. We're taking over Texas. We are better together because that's what we believe. Bettertogetherlive.com for your ticket. Karen Van Holten with Majestic Title definitely can hook you up with your title needs. Y'all have a fantastic.
Thank you, Trisha, for having me.
Yeah. Bye, you guys.
Bye.